here we are again on Monday at 10 a.m. doing our Facebook Live. We can't do it on YouTube at the moment because we need 1,000 subscribers as they've increased the number of followers you need on YouTube. So if you guys could get onto YouTube and follow us on there, we'll be able to do it on YouTube Live as well. Reason being is that schools are able to watch YouTube Live much easier than they are to watch Facebook Live. Okay, so let's check we've got everything while we wait for some people who we know are going to watch today. And we're going to go over lots of chemicals today before I introduce myself and to the children, lots of games. So the chemicals that we're going to be talking about are all the chemicals in the brain, which we've been inspired by the work of Paul Gilbert for. And the activities, as I very briefly mentioned last time, is inspired by therapeutic principles. Really good activities for therapeutic play and emotional regulation, amongst many other things. So well worth checking out as well. Okay, so we'll get started. So I'm Louise Mansell and I'm a doctor of clinical psychology, and I've introduced myself before as a clinical psychologist. And the main thing to know about clinical psychologists is we think about the brain a lot, okay? So a bit like doctors need to know that how the body works to understand all your symptoms and everything that's going on. Clinical psychologists and people who are working in what we call mental health really need to know how the brain works. Otherwise, we're just guessing. And we can't go around guessing about how people might be feeling and why they're doing what they're doing. It makes much more sense if we understand it, particularly if we understand how complicated and precious brains are. So we've got lizard and hedgehog back and monkey, including our Lego brain. And I loved all the brain Lego brains that you guys sent me. And the pictures of all the different characters, so thank you for that. And Samuel's back as well. You're going to give everyone a wave, Sam? So we're going to be thinking about why people like iPads and why mums and dads like phones, why we might bite our nails, and how to get the balance of all these chemicals just right so we feel just right. Okay? But we're not always going to feel just right, and that's okay too. But it's really important to know how to get ourselves back to being just right. And that's that big word that the clinical psychologists use as well, emotional regulation. Okay, and that's what it's all about. But are you ready for your Science of Emotion show? Give me a big shout out as loud as you can to say yes, Louise, if you are ready. Yes, Louise! Thank you, Samuel. And then a really quiet shout out. Yes, Louise. Yes, Louise. Excellent. Big thumbs up. Thank you. But remember, we always have to check on this show whether we've got our brains with us. So we're not going to do jumping today because me and Samuel are sitting down because of these chemicals. So we're going to check that our brains are with us, we're going to clap as fast as we can. But we've got to tell our brains to do it first. Ready? So after 3, tell your brains to clap as fast as you can. 1, 2, 3. Clap as fast as you can. Stop. And go. Stop. And go. Excellent. Oh, I think our brains are there. Has everyone got very hot hands? Give them a big blow. Cool them down. Okay, so now let's just double check that we've got our brains and tell our brains to give Louise and Samuel and Monkey a very big wave. Slower, slow the wave, slow wave, fast wave, slow wave, fast wave. Excellent. I definitely think you've all brought your brains because you're able to do it all. And if you didn't have your brains, you wouldn't be able to do all those things. Okay, so that's a super job. Looks like Monkey wants a bit of a army salute. Can you tell your brain to do an army salute for us? And another one. And with the other hand, say, brain, use the other hand for the army salute. Excellent. So now we know we've got our brains here, we can think about what's happening in them. And our brains are so busy all of the time, trying to get everything just right for us. A bit like our hearts. Can you feel your heart beating? Take some deep breaths. Feel your heart beating. Oh, it's so busy. And it's very precious, just like our brains. And it's just trying to get everything right just for us. So sometimes when one of these chemicals gets too much in our brains, our bodies do something to get it just right again. Like biting nails, or fidgeting with things, or rocking on our chairs. Everyone gets in trouble for rocking on the chairs, don't they? But it's our brain's way of getting the balance just right again, because it's noticed something's not quite right. And we're going to have a think about how does our brain tell our bodies to do that without us even knowing. Because sometimes when we bite our nails, we don't know we're doing it. Sometimes when we wobble our legs, we don't know we're doing it. We don't even know our brains have done it for us, the same as sometimes we don't even know our heart's beating. And it is. So it's doing it all for us. So, before, when I asked you to blow your hands because they'd got really hot, just do it again because mine still feel hot. You feel them getting nice and cold. And do it again. You might start to feel a little bit calmer. So when we blow things, it fills up what we would call our green system. And that's from Paul Gilbert's green system, self-soothe system. Now the technical word is a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system. All very big words that we don't need today. And even a vagus nerve if you feel the back of your head. You might be able to poke your vagus nerve. Oh, and that is such an important nerve. It tells us, gives us all sorts of messages, but it really helps calm it down. So do you remember when I was saying how scared lizard gets sometimes for no reason? And sometimes get scared for very good reason. And that's the equivalent of this red system being filled up. Now, people's red systems at the moment might be quite full because nothing makes very much sense, does it? No one's going to school, we're not allowed near people, and the world can be a bit scary when we don't understand what's happening. So we're going to have a little think about all the different things that might fill up the red system. But before we use our chemicals, because they're so special, these chemicals, we have to get our science kit on. Samuel, can you put your goggles on so that there's no explosions, and I'll put my lab coat on. Okay, are you ready? And we're going to think about the red systems. Oh, his lenses fell out, it'll be okay. And you can do this with food colourings or bath things, and you can think about all the things that fill up your red system in a day. And that's being your bit of your scared system, the lizard and the Lego brain. Okay, so not being at school can sometimes fill it up or not. Hearing scary things might fill it up. Or you know what else fills it up? Being told you can't play on the iPad. And you know why that fills it up? It's because when we play on an iPad, it produces in our brains what's called dopamine. And it's the blue system. So Samuel might be playing on his iPad and he wins at something and it fills up his blue system, and we do like this feeling. This is a good feeling. Mums and dads like this feeling too. Everyone does. And anything we want or like doing or get a sense of feeling good about fills up this blue system. Fill it up a little bit more, Sam. Okay. And it's like a sense of achievement, they might call it, when we feel good. Now, have you got your newspapers and, dare I say, toilet rolls? Now, I promise no toilet roll was wasted in this show. So you can reuse your toilet roll today, because all you're going to do is chop through it. Are you ready? So what we're doing is we're producing some dopamine in your brain right now when you're going to chop through. But Samuel, are you good at chopping from sitting down? Because we can't stand up or our heads will be off the camera. Are you ready? Samuel's going to try chopping through 4 layers of toilet roll first. 1. Oh, I forgot the rule. Mums and dads and not grown-ups, you have to say on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Excellent job. Let's try with a newspaper now. It might be a bit more tricky. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let me do a little tearing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a hard newspaper this morning. Let's try half a newspaper. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, do it again. Oh. You see Samuel's big smile? So what that does is it produces dopamine, the blue system, because he liked doing it and he felt good when he got through that newspaper. And then that big lovely smile that happened when he did it filled up his green system because it stimulated that vagus nerve. And this green system's very, very good for us. And it's all the sorts of things like oxytocin, and it's when we feel safe and protected and just content. Our brains love this feeling, and they love having this chemical in our heads, especially if the red one's too big. So when it didn't work, we got a little bit of red, like, a bit of frustration. But also we got a little bit of red because it was a bit exciting, and those feelings can feel the same as well. So really, really important to get lots of these experiences, but making sure our green system's always a little bit topped up, okay? Because that can manage all the distress we might feel. Yeah? So what happens is, why might, when I sometimes suggest Samuel gives me his iPad and he's getting loads of blue from doing his iPad, loads of blue, he gets a little bit angry. Me asking for it tops up his red. Eek. And he might shout at me a little bit. And then I might shout at him a little bit. Oh no, oh no. And actually, some of the games we play on the iPads and computers top up our red because they're a bit scary. And remember, this guy doesn't know that those games are not real. The lower parts of our brains don't know they're not real. So they still get topped up. So it's really important, once you've asked for an iPad back or a computer game or come off, that we top up our green. So Samuel, can you top up the green? Now the quickest way, would you believe, to top up our green system is lots of lovely comfort from another person who we love. Sometimes we can just think about someone we love. Have a think about someone you love a lot. And it sometimes makes us smile. Now remember, this part of our brain's not very clever. Sorry. Very important though. And if we smile, it thinks we're happy even when we're not, so we can trick it a little bit. Now that's a tip for parents when they're having to go over and take the iPad. If they go over with a little bit of a smile, it can keep our green topped up so we can ask for it in a nicer way. Okay, so I want lots of forced smiles when you're asking for iPads back. It just helps the brain stay calm. It's a little trick there for the grown-ups. Now, one of the quickest ways is our hands. Give us your hands, Samuel. Thank you, darling. And we've started doing hand massages, haven't we, because of how dry your hands have been. Because your hands have direct access to your self-soothe system, your green system. So if you're with a grown-up now, get them to hold your hand and give it a rub. Okay, feel it. Check all those nails. If anyone bites their nails, that's okay. Because it just means that you've got a bit too much red and not enough green. And maybe we can't just tell you, stop biting your nails. Everyone have a little chew with their nails? Stop biting your nails. I can't do that, can I? That's not going to calm anyone down. So we need to think about topping up a green.
That's going to do the opposite of calming someone down.
That's right. It's going to do the opposite, because they might end up sat there, won't they, Sam? Biting the nails. And I say, stop biting your nails.
And it'll top off the red.
It'll top up the red. And you don't know what else to do. And then you might be worried that this is all you know how to do. And now you're going to get in trouble for doing that. So we have to give them something else to do if we want them to stop biting the nails that tops up the green. Now, why it helps to bite your nails and suck your thumb and mess with your fingers and mess with your lips is because it's very quick to get to the self-soothe part of our brain. Now, can we do this on the top of our heads? Give us a wave from the top, as if where Samuel might wear his special glasses if he was putting them there. Okay, so just there is where the part of the brain that would light up if we were filling this up. right to the top. And hands and mouths are really quick to get there. So it's the perfect thing to think about. Now, we've been practicing a bit of a special handshake, haven't we? Do you think we could remember it? Really good to do a special handshake, especially at these times when we need our green system topping up. Okay, so that it, oh, don't do the her. We ended with a her, but we won't do that now. So can you see they're almost topped up? They're almost all the same, but the green's still a little bit lower, especially with everything at the moment. So we want to top up this green even more. So we could hold hands, we could do nails, all sorts of things. And we can even think of a special handshake that we're going to start doing when Samuel's finished one of his homeschool lessons. Okay, so let's try it. You ready? Oh. We need to practice, don't we? Or Mummy does anyway. So you've got your newspaper punch that's really good for impulsivity. So children really want to do things really quickly and you have to wait. And then when they do, they get a bit of blue and a bit of red and they usually smile. So you get a bit of everything. Oh, you're the best at this, Samuel. A bit of everything. But right now, we really need to make sure that this green has got as much as it can. And if we know that hands do it, then we need to fill it up as much as we can. And especially if
you're not sure that you need some red.
You do need some red still, because you'd be a bit too relaxed. And if we're a bit too relaxed, we're not on the lookout for danger. So I heard something saying, we need to stop worrying. Well, like Samuel said, we'd be a bit too relaxed if we stop worrying. We might even go out and not be very safe when we're out if we didn't worry at all. So it's very important that we don't stop worrying. It's important that we learn how to manage our worries and learn how to calm them down, not stop worrying. Because, yeah, you're right, we would be too relaxed and be running this show without me soon, won't it? So I hope that's been really helpful. What we're going to do before we finish is some big, big waves again, okay? And some claps. You ready? So, some big, big waves. Fast as you can, fast as you can, fast as you can, fast as you can. And slow down. And then we're going to try one last thing that really helps our regulatory system and all our nervous system in our brain. And it's anything that's in rhythm. So we're going to do a bit of a clap. You ready, Sam? You need your hands, not Monkey's hands, because he can't make a noise, unfortunately. So we're going to do 3 claps, then 2. Ready? On my lead. Watch me first. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And you can do that in your house when everything's got maybe a bit tense sometimes, as it can do, especially now. Anything that we do in rhythm, and that's really, for anyone who wants to know more about that, Bruce Perry talks loads about doing things in rhythm and how it really regulates all our systems and makes us all feel better. That's why we love singing and music. Well, that's for another time when we do singing and music. So I hope you have enjoyed the show. Can you shout, yes, Louise, we've enjoyed the show after 3? 1, 2, 3.
Yes, Louise, we've enjoyed the show.
And we will see you next week. All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.